It's like a divine experience from above. It comes
Oh,
down
yeah.
and through you.
Oh yeah. I mean, and you have to curate this like inspiration, like almost as an artist, you know. I've realized that if I wake up early, go to the gym, and like get very busy in the morning, I'm gonna make a like shit post that goes viral. Like, I swear to God, like.
Shout out to the Orange Manufacturing Group. They helped me with my logo design, and you know that I'll be ordering their premium hardwood sign and lightning keychain. Accessories are curated from a selection of durable traditional materials built to last. Use the Geyser Fund link in the show notes to take advantage of their trust minimal process, or to save 5%, go to omg21btc.com. That's omg21btc.com and use code AAB21Q. Well, Gégé, I'll call you Gégé. Welcome to Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
It's my pleasure, Saida. Thank you to call me out, and like, yeah, I'm up for it.
Oh, totally. We've had so far Gilles, Theo, you're number 3, lucky number 3. Maybe one day Francis will come on. Who knows? A fellow Canadian.
There is like lots of people working for Bull Bitcoin that speaks French, because the company is based in was started in Quebec, and most of the like employees are based in Quebec. So and there is lots of funny character. I'm thinking of like Guillaume. Kevin, he was like selling like guns before he goes into Bitcoin. And there is also Jimmy, because we are 4 people in France and soon to be 5. So there is Jimmy that is based in Lyon that you can have on the pod. I'm sure he will be happy also to come.
Very nice. Selling guns before coming into Bitcoin. That is, right away I was like, woohoo, we need to learn more about that story.
Yeah,
but
I think Francis like to pick very like, he doesn't like, when he hired me, he doesn't like ask for a CV, or like he just doesn't even know even my like a background on like academia and things. He just like to have like interesting characters and competent people.
Yeah, that's what Theo was saying. Show me your work. It's proof of work. He's not going to ask for your degrees and certificates and all the rest of that stuff, which is very real. So how did you actually get into Bitcoin?
That's a long story. I guess to understand why I found myself interested in Bitcoin is to go back through the roots, because like there is a lot of people that encounter Bitcoin, but there is not that many people that like dig into it and get passionate into it. I mean, my father was a journalist, so I was always like hyper focused on like media and like very like looking at the news and like analyzing the news. My dad would always tell me that like they create the news, so like they find narratives and things like that. So I was very like critical of like mainstream media, like from a very, very young age. And basically in like 2011, I understood that like the money creation was the root of lots of problem, when like France was using our tax euros to send bombs in Libya. And I realized that the reason we went there was obviously not for like the reason they say we were there, like human rights and all these things, and it was more about like economical interest and currency, because like Gaddafi wanted to like set up like a gold-backed currency. So like back then in 2011, I understood that like money creation was like a big issue like for what's happening in the world. And basically fast forward to like 2017, I was just like having my first job in Paris, saving my first like money, and I was like, and I read a book which is like Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is like very famous book.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yep.
Yeah. Was it translated in French?
I don't know. I don't know if I read it in English. Maybe it was in French. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a bestseller, so I'm sure it's available in French. And basically I read like the first part of the book in like one afternoon, and then I was like, okay, I understood that like rich people make money works for them and poor people like work for money. So I was like, okay, I'm in the poor people category right now because I'm like working for euros. How could I like make my euro work for me? And because I had like a small amount of money to save. And basically I was like, okay, what should I invest my money in? I realized I couldn't like buy a house because it was like too much. Then I was like, okay, should I buy like a parking spot in Paris because it's a good investment, I've heard. And then I realized I do the calculation, the tax and all these things. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be break even in like 20 years for like such a small investment. It's not worth it. And then for whatever reason, I think I saw on ads or something, I thought of Bitcoin. And I remember I wrote down like Bitcoin on YouTube. And the first video was like a video of, what's his name? Bill Gates, which is like kind of like a Bitcoin skeptic, but there was one video of him from like 2014 where he said, oh, it's legit kind of. So I was like, okay, if Bill Gates say it's legit, then it's probably like not like 100% like a scam. And like the same day I bought like 1,000 euros of Bitcoin, and then like he was in April like 2017, and then he went like to like, I was at the time I was like looking at my at the fiat amount I had in Bitcoin, and I started at 1,000, and like a week or two after it was like 1,050 euros. And I was like, okay, within like a week or two, I did like 50 euros, like by doing nothing. I should double down on that. And like within like a few months, I was like all in Bitcoin. And it was like maybe like June, May, like 2017. So there was like ICOs popping in everywhere. Mm-hmm. It was all about like blockchain. There was like the block size war. There was Ethereum coming in, and me, I wasn't like even like on Twitter back then. I was like taking my news from Reddit. Mm-hmm. And so I was like not very like aware of like what's happening in the grand scheme of things and what really Bitcoin is. And I was like, okay, I guess crypto is the future, and like Bitcoin is just like the basic stuff that's gonna get replaced. So by September, I had like all my money in like various like crypto coins with like useless use case, like IoT, real estate, whatever you find it. And by January 28, it like 2018, sorry, it started to crash, and then I went into like I stick to it, and I went into like finding videos about. Like it's a classic like journey of like a Bitcoin maximalist person. Antonopoulos videos that I recommend for anyone. Yep. And I really went down like the rabbit hole, and within like, I don't know, I'd say 4 or 5 months, I was like, okay, Bitcoin is the shit. I need to accumulate Bitcoin as soon as I can, as much as I can. And by like summer 2018, I was like a very, very, very enthusiastic maximalist, and I was like saving all my money in Bitcoin, not going out, not going to restaurant, no girlfriend, nothing.
Oh just, like, so grinding. Like hardcore, double down hardcore.
Yeah, I just like literally put my life on the side for like 2-3 years just for the sake of accumulating Bitcoin. I was like pretty crazy about it.
And today you are happy. Well, you would be happy if you hadn't lost your keys.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't own Bitcoin anymore. I'm like homeless, and I lost all my keys in a boating accident. So unfortunately, I lost my net worth.
So you mentioned your dad being a journalist. Is he into Bitcoin as well? Was he intrigued, or is he intrigued by the space? Because I can imagine that's a lot of material for a journalist to investigate.
No, I mean, my dad is a boomer, so he's getting like a bit old now. He's not really into like money and like all these things. He's really more into like religion, philosophy, and all these things. And I think he never like really took the time to fully go down the rabbit hole. And it's okay, because I think it's very rare to find like boomers that really understand Bitcoin. So I think it's more of a generational gap. Yeah. And it's good like that. You know, I never like tried to go too pushy on him, you know.
Oh, that's nice. That's very gentle. Good son. Are your friends and like classmates you grew up with in France, are they into Bitcoin as well, or are they still very fiat minded?
You know what? Like, I think in the Bitcoin journey, there is like different stages, and like
Hmm.
once you understand Bitcoin, you go into the euphoria phases, like the epiphany phase, where you want to orange pill everyone in your surrounding. Me, I've done that for like a year or two. I was literally harassing people, and I was like, bro, it's like 1000% going way more up. Like, buy that now, or just like, I was very like pushy, but like just a few people I know bought. For example, for Christmas in 2018, I offered like $10 of like a Bitcoin on paper wallet to all my family members, but like none of them really like went into the rabbit hole. I mean, I had like, let's say, a handful of friends that really like went down the rabbit hole, but most of them no. Except a few exceptions. Now these days, I don't really like try to orange pill people too much if I see that there is no like a fertile ground, because by experience I've learned that some of my friends that I've been like trying to orange pill from 2017, 2018 to 2021, they bought at the exact top in November
Oh,
in 2021, and then price crashed, and then they were like not blaming me but saying, oh, your Bitcoin thing. So like I think you know, there is study that were made for like stock exchange, and like people that pick stocks, even though the S&P 500 is going up like on average 8 to 9% per year, like a retail investor, like 90% of them lose money. I do think that retail investor, most people lose money with Bitcoin, because like people
oh,
get excited when it's up, they buy when it's up, and they get afraid when it's down, so they sell when it's down, you know.
okay, yeah.
So I've stopped like trying to be pushy, because people can lose money in a market that's going up on average, I don't know, 40-50% a year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, because they see it more as a stock. Like they don't see it for something more than a fiat, price sticker attached to it. So that's fair. It takes time. So tell me, because I'm very intrigued, what then is the link between Bitcoin and bro science? And what is bro science actually?
Oh, okay. I think you picked it up because it's on my bio. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Bro science. I don't know what's the link with Bitcoin. I think bro science is the opposite of the science. You know, like
Ah,
when we had
okay.
like the COVID
Oh, yeah.
vaccine,
Yeah. Okay. The
they were
science
saying like,
says.
oh, the science day, and like the universal university like mindset. The science would be like reading books and having a PhD, and the bro science would be just instinctively knowing something because you have experience in life without even like
Mm-hmm.
reading a book, you know. So like yeah, bro science, I would define it this way. You know, it's more like the experience, the proof of work that, okay, I've experienced that on average, like people act this way where when they are into this situation. I have nothing to back it up except my personal experience of life and like the conversation I have with people and like my instinct. And most of the time, it's like true. I found it's true, and like I feel like you have more chances of being right if you base your opinion on your life experience, but you need to have like life experience. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Rather than going to the library, reading a book, or having like a PhD or doing research on something. I'm not like blaming people that do that. I think it works for like my friend Theo Pantamis, which works for Ellen Marquette. He's based in France. He has like a PhD in mathematics, and I think like PhD and university like knowledge is very important for this type of things, like maybe sometimes medicines, mathematics, and all this like hard science. But like for sociology, you'd rather just go out there, experience life, and like shape
Yeah.
your mindset and like learn from your experience, I guess.
Yeah. Like experience says sunlight is very beneficial for your health. Before getting into a bunch of pharmaceuticals and stuff, spend time in the sun. eat a proper diet and see how things go. So I hear you. I understand bro
Especially
science.
when you see like how like the science is funded and shit, you know, like if you, so but no, but like it's very
Yep,
interesting, like who is financing these people.
exactly.
Like back then they say that having like sugar in the morning was good for you, like cereal,
Mm.
Kellogg's. Now they are
Mm-hmm.
telling you that there is like a scientific consensus around the fact that CO2 is causing global warming.
Mm-hmm.
uh, but like the fact is, if you're like a scientist that's saying that CO2 like doesn't cause global warming, they're gonna shut you down and you won't have money. So they just fund people that they think have the correct view, and then
Yep.
they say there is like a consensus, you know?
Yeah. Consensus. It should be there's a coercion. We'll
Mm,
take your money away if you don't say what we want you to say.
definitely, yeah.
I get that. And it's fascinating because, I mean, um, math as a discipline obviously is very important, very advanced. And we have a lot of people in these official institutions who have advanced studies, yet they haven't figured out how to remedy the money printing, the fiat situation within the current system. And it's interesting because I'd like to know how many of those people are secret Bitcoiners but wouldn't say it because, again, they risk losing their jobs and their livelihoods and other things if they were to speak out openly.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're working for these entities like for the European Central Bank and like basically the hand that gives, it's always on top of the hand that receives. So
Mm-hmm.
like because
Yeah,
central
that's good.
banking is funding like government, if you're paid by government and if you say that you shouldn't like we should get rid of central banking, basically you are cutting out like government finance. Basically, it's like I don't know. Let's find like an example. Like let's say you work for a guy that's making X business, and you say that like the way they get money is like bullshit. They're gonna stop paying you, right? At the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, you gotta understand that, and like because all of these people are getting paid or financed by people that have interest in like keeping this statu quo. I guess it's not moving needles, you know, and they don't have any like finance. Always find like the financial interest. Like if you work for the
Exactly.
superstructure, you're not gonna like question what's financing the
Mm-hmm.
superstructure, right?
Exactly. So here's the question, the real question. When did you discover the power of memes and shit posting?
That's interesting because I've always been more like a visual person. Like I really like visuals. I've been working in video production, and I've always been like fascinated by like internet culture and like dark humor.
Mm-hmm.
Also, um, I think how I went into meme because I think in 2021, 2020. I was like in Bitcoin like for a long time, and I was on Twitter for a long time, but wasn't really posting much because I was always like I had like the imposter syndrome,
Yeah, yeah.
basically, and I was like, oh no, these guys are like above me. Like I have nothing more clever to say than them. And like I don't know, like one day instinctively I saw like a guy making a meme, and I just starting like doing memes, and like people love it, and I think for me it's just like an easier way to communicate, but like it's very instinctive. Like it's really hard to say. Sometimes people they come to me and they say, oh, do a meme about that, or do like it doesn't work this way. It's more like you're going on a walk, or it's very like the way it comes through. It's like not very. It's very instinctive. It's like having like inspiration, and like the best meme you have, or like by doing something else, like taking a shit, like drinking a coffee, or all sorts of things, basically.
That's Teo mentioned shit. Well, he said Paris was a shithole, and you just randomly put in like taking a shit. It's
My
very
bad.
French. I know it's good. When I asked Gilles about the art of shitposting, he said, you get inspiration and then you just let the keyboard do its thing. Like it seems to be one of those, it's like a divine experience from above. It comes
Oh yeah.
down and through
Oh yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and you have to curate this like inspiration, like almost as an artist, you know. I've realized that if I wake up early, go to the gym, and like get very busy in the morning, I'm gonna make a like shit post that goes viral. Like I
Yeah,
swear to God, like if you want
really.
to have like because you have to tap into this like ruthless kind of animalistic, like very like testosterone ish like inspiration to find it. And I don't know why. Like I'm way better at shitposting and like curating like viral posts or memes when I like really like went hard in the morning, woke up early, and yeah. So I think that's the same way for artists like painters, people that have like that are writing. You know, sometimes they say, "Oh, I can't write today." I think it's the same for meme. It's just like a different way of like expressing ideas. You know, but like most of the people, I think what they get wrong about memes is like they always try to overcomplicate. Because I have
Yeah.
lots of people, they send me memes and they say, "Oh, do that, do that, do that, add this, add this." No, like a good meme, you should like catch it within like a quarter of a second. If you have
Wow.
like too much, the more you read and the more you need time like to decrypt it, the less it's gonna be efficient. The best meme is like 1 second. So just keep it simple, and also use, if you want to be spot on, go tap into like cultural references that people love and cherish, or in the news. Sometimes it's just about being fast, you know, like the other day I saw like Trump having like an intercourse with like Netanyahu, the president
Wait,
of
wait, wait,
Israel.
wait. Did you say?
No, not intercourse, my bad. Okay, I'm doing like Theo again.
Oh, this is so staying in there. You guys are amazing.
Oh
You
my bad,
guys.
I'm so sorry. I was about to say an entanglement, but then it's the same shit. No, I mean, but it's like it's kind of, maybe it's true because Trump is like kind of doing weird shit with Israel president. So anyway, no, it had like an encounter. That the word I was looking for. He had like an encounter with Netanyahu, and he was like holding like the chair, and Netanyahu was sitting, you know. And I just saw that, and to me it was like directly a meme template, and it was something from the news from today. So if you use like something that's from the news fresh from today, like people will like it also, you know.
Yeah. Yep. I've tried doing memes, tried, but I give up after a few minutes because there's so many words and ideas and everything just floods together at the same time and I overthink and overcomplicate. So I just say, you know what, like I can't do it. And I don't have that spirit. You know what I mean? I think, oh, well, maybe because that person's thinking this, they're doing this. I look for a compromise as opposed to the full
Yeah.
on
I
beam.
mean, I think in life you need to find like what's the best way for you to express yourself, you know? Like me, I know like there is some stuff I'm not like as good as other people like to talk. Like for example, Theo is very like good at articulating ideas and like talking. He's very like spot on and smart about that. Me, not as much. I to explain like hard concepts. So but like it's need like for a meme it needs to be like very, the more time you spend on a meme, the less
Yeah.
efficient it's gonna be. Like if your meme you spend more than 5 minutes doing it, it's overcomplicated, you put too much thought into it. it's
Yeah.
it's it's all about like instinct and like love and very, yeah, reactions.
Yeah, definitely. Do you do them on your phone or do you like have a whole setup for
Oh no,
memes?
I use GIMP. I use GIMP or mememaker.com. I can do them on my phone sometime also. But usually I use GIMP or mememaker.com. Yeah. I don't think memes are. I mean, sometimes I spend time to make memes on GIMP and like do edit, to change faces, and it's important sometimes to have the skills, but I don't think the creativity is the most important.
Yeah. So are your like do your parents understand meme culture? Are they into it? Do they ever look?
No, my parents go to church and they're
Oh
not they're
yeah, okay.
boomers, they're not really much into internet culture, and nor they understand like the ref of my memes or Bitcoin or like all these things. So I've no the like how to say the age gap is too big, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay, for real. My dad's I won't say my dad's age because I don't think he likes that, but he's a boomer as well, and he's totally into it. During COVID,
Oh
my
wow.
dad he went
Yeah.
to town on. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but on Facebook he would post some things, and I'd be like, "Wow, Dad!" Like, and he was a teacher, a
Oh
high school
wow.
teacher,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
So yeah, so
I
I
mean,
guess
my dad is on social media also. He's like a small niche influencer on Facebook. He's writing
oh
like posts like that every day for like the last 10 years. He even like print the books of his posts. So you have books per year of all his posts, and you have like
oh
lots of
nice.
people fighting in his DM. But he talks more about like philosophy, church, and like very like deep like stuff that I'm not really into as much.
So, because I actually I did a podcast this morning with Discovering Bitcoin, and the topic of sort of like church and religion and Bitcoin maximalism came up. Do you see, because you're exposed to your dad, who is a professional in this topic, do you see any similarities between Bitcoin maximalism and some of the stuff that he covers?
I mean, yeah, the subject of religion and Bitcoin is very interesting. I think it's more something. It's more of like an American or Anglo-Saxon like type of like
Yeah.
event. Like I don't see as much of it in France, but I know there is lots of American Bitcoiners that's open to religion through Bitcoin or the other way around. There is like Pastor Coin in like Canada, and
Hmm.
even like a few of my colleagues at Bull Bitcoin. They are
Like
my
Hugo
age,
Kenna.
and Hugo Cana also,
Yeah.
Pablo, Kevin. I think they all go to church, like kind of. They all go to church, and I think it's a new thing. Maybe it's something they went back again after discovering Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin expand your horizon, I guess. Bitcoin expand your horizon in the sense that you're saving money for your future because you know your money is gonna appreciate, and also like it makes you maybe a little bit more frugal. And basically, I don't know. I think the same way, like during the gold standard, people were having like very long time preference, so they were building like cathedrals, and they were
Yeah.
having like the vision for their legacy and all these things. So I think maybe there is something about that, like about like expanding your vision, because when you see like most people like these days, they just like they have to pay their bill for the end of the month. They have to they I think, I mean, not everyone, but I see that lots of people lack like the grand vision of things, and I think like that's what Bitcoin gives you. It's like expand your horizon.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
when you find like, I think it helps you understand like religion and legacy, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When I lived in France, I was floored by especially the cathedral in Rouen.
Hmm.
It's like
I was there last week.
how did they build it? Oh, that's right. You guys had the conference there.
Yeah. Shout out
How
to Normandy Bitcoin. There is a good chunk of like Bitcoiners over there, like Benoit, Paul, etc.
no one. I follow them on Twitter. So how was the conference?
Oh, I mean, I cut you through. You were talking about like the cathedral. I don't want to
Oh yeah,
interrupt.
yeah. Well, it was just for me, a North American. It was unbelievable to see a construction like that. Especially was it okay, is it the 15th century? It was built in the 15th century? I don't know. It's built a very long time ago. And so it's like, how did they import all of those materials? I guess, it was shipped in down the Seine because Rouen is along the Seine on the way to Paris. But, how did they actually pull the materials from the boats, chisel everything, erect everything without modern day equipment? It is something to behold. And the last time I was there, I think it was still being cleaned. It's like an ongoing cleaning project to keep this thing beautiful and pristine. So, yeah, I was floored. But enough about the cathedral. How was the conference?
Yeah, but just to finish on this tunnel on like cathedral, I think you can judge like a civilization on what they built, and like these people, like again, it's all about horizon and like legacy, and like these people, they were like working for God basically, so that was their purpose. And basically they would like work on a cathedral, like the grandfather would work on the cathedral, the son would work on the cathedral, the grandson would work on the cathedral. It would take like 120 years. So people had like such huge horizon. I think it was like because of religion and like their values back then. But like when you see like what's going on these days, like in the cities in France, that just like there is like a shift in architecture, after the Second World War. Now they build like buildings, they last for 30 days, 30 years, and they destroy it and they build other stuff. So nothing's gonna last. So it's interesting because sometimes people say, oh, the Middle Age. Back then people were living like ruthlessly, and it was like a dark period. But like in the grand scheme of things, like if you see what we kept from this period and what we're gonna kept, I'm talking about physical stuff. It's gonna be way more beautiful what they did back then, and I don't even think they would be able. They would have like the skills and resources to build like cathedral these days. Anyway, let's get back to Rouen. Yeah, we went to Rouen we were invited with the Bull Bitcoin team to help the people in Rouen to organize their one-day conference event. So there was like conferences in the morning, and in the afternoon there was like workshops. We have like a guy which his entire job is to do Bitcoin education at Bull Bitcoin. It's Pablo. He's like from England, but he lives in Quebec, and he built it like some workshop to make people understand Bitcoin on a funny way, because we are not like all crazy people that we like listen to podcasts and read books to understand Bitcoin. Some people can access like Bitcoin knowledge through like games, and it's opening a door to like new people understanding like a difficult concept in a friendly and funny ways. So it was good.
Yeah, totally. And you mentioned Andreas Antonopoulos earlier. And in talking about hashing and guessing the nonce, he uses a really good analogy with the dice. Like, what's the probability of you rolling double ones, for example, to understand what the difficulty is? And I thought that was really helpful because I'd done like a technical course before that, and I was like, I don't quite understand this whole target business. But he broke it down in a very simple, because I'm not a Bitcoin miner, but simple way for me to just grasp what the concept is. So the approach with games is really powerful.
Yeah, I second that, because I think like the Bitcoin community is composed of very passionate people, but the average understanding of like technology is very high, even though we are not all very technical people. But on average, like Bitcoiners are quite technical, or they become after Bitcoin. But like I think what we say in French is like avoir le nez dans le guidon. It's like because we are too close to the stuff to drive the bike, we don't see like the grand scheme of things, and most people are not like very technical in terms of like technology and all these things. So if you want to let people understand Bitcoin, you need to open your chakra and not make it like very technical, because they're going to be scared. And some Bitcoiners, sometimes they are like starting by explaining very, very technical things, and they lose people on the first seconds, you know.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, so you guys have a good team. So you've got Pablo who gamifies things, and you're the meme master,
Yeah,
and Teo who drills people.
yeah, yeah.
So, how is Bull Bitcoin being received in France and in Europe right now?
I'm actually surprised because when Theo called me like last year, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna launch like an exchangeable Bitcoin." I knew the brand, of course, because I was following Francis on social media. He was following me. We had like a few interaction on Twitter, so I knew the brand. I knew it was like legit and all these things. But I was like, "Wow, that's like such a heavy lifting to start from scratch, just like the three of us." But like we've been like creating content and like hiring like the best people in France. So like the reception of people is amazing. Like I'm very like surprised. People really like the brand. People really like the service. We have like some defining feature that you can like use Bitcoin to pay anyone with a bank account anywhere in Europe instantly, which is like a killing app to me because I'm the type of person that need like stuff fast, and I've been
Yeah.
living on a Bitcoin standard for the last like 3 years. So basically, I'm the type of guy that goes to a restaurant on a date with a chick and realize that I don't have enough money in my bank account to pay the bill. So I need to a Bitcoin exchange and like send like a Lightning or on-chain transaction and hopefully get it before the dinner last. So I'm taking more cocktails and I'm making the lady wait. But like right now I can go from like Bitcoin on Lightning to my bank account within like less than 2 minutes. So it's amazing. Um, Other defining feature like the customer support is amazing. I think it's the only one exchange in Europe where you can talk to you have like a chat box on the exchange which will allow you to talk to like Bitcoiners that are based in France or Quebec and that are very knowledgeable and they will answer you. There is no like AI chatbot and like just like the interface. I think the vision of Francis is to make something that's good at one thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
good at like selling and buying Bitcoin and that's it. And I was discussing with Francis the other day, and he told me that he know like a guy that has an exchange in America, and the guy like didn't develop his backhand. So basically, in on Bull Bitcoin, like everything is like house made.
Mm-hmm.
All the backend, all the data that we that the client gave us is like hosted by us. Everything and like because this other exchange they decided to like accept tether. Now they need to accept like Polygon, Tron,
Oh
Ethereum,
wow. Oh
Solana and
dear.
all their
Oh
infrastructure.
dear.
So
Oh
they
dear.
get like busy like doing all these like irrelevant things. I mean they are irrelevant for us and they don't have time to, for example, work on like page and feature like Francis did for the Bull Bitcoin wallet or like other feature that are actually helping Bitcoiner become sovereign because like the mantra of the brand of Bull Bitcoin is to engineer sovereignty. It's basically to help people become more sovereign in their day-to-day life basically.
Yeah, I had someone reach out to me yesterday because they saw Teo and they were asking more about Bull Bitcoin. I don't have a euro denominated account. And I thought to myself, how ironic would it be for me to open a euro denominated account to access a service in euros? You know what I mean? Like it's something that actually stopped me in my tracks, and I think about that.
I mean, if you wanna, I don't know if you pay your rent or if you pay friends. Like with Bull Bitcoin, you can, if a friend tell you like, oh, you owe me money, you can just tell him, okay, what's your IBAN, and you can just send Bitcoin, and within like 2 minutes, like your friend will get the money in his bank account. I'm paying my landlord like that right now. I just like send
Oh wow.
Bitcoin to Bull Bitcoin, and Bull Bitcoin like send
And
the
does the
wire
shit.
transfer directly to the landlord. So basically, you can leave unbanked for
Yep.
most things, you know.
Yep. So for Euro people, I can pay them directly via Bitcoin. So send Bitcoin to my Bull Bitcoin wallet, basically, and then from there.
Oh no, you don't even need to send it to the Bull Bitcoin wallet. You just like create an order. Okay, I want to pay this person this IBAN for like 100 euros, let's say.
Yeah.
That gives you a QR code. You go on Lightning, you scan the QR code, and the person receives the money on his bank account within like 1 minute.
Okay. Because when I go to excuse me,
Oh no,
app.bullbitcoin.com.
okay. So that's like a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah, okay,
Because
because that's what I was
basically,
doing.
Bull
Yeah.
Bitcoin, the
Yep.
exchange Bull Bitcoin in Europe, you can access this from app.bullbitcoin.com. It's basically like a separate things at the app that's on the Android store. The app which is on the Android store is like a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet that
Okay.
just like Blue Wallet or Green
Yeah.
or
So that's what I was
Sparrow,
doing
you know?
wrong.
Yeah.
I was app.bullbitcoin.com. Okay, so
It's like
I'll
an open
download.
source wallet that allow you to spend Bitcoin and like keep Bitcoin basically.
Oh, well,
And
there you go.
liquid and Lightning also.
You know, I still haven't tried Liquid. There are so many things for me to try. I feel over the past year and a half, there have been so many things rolled out. Even though Liquid came out, I think I heard Samson Mao speaking about it in like 2021, I want to say. Like, it's been a while.
Maybe, yeah.
But I still haven't tried Liquid, so okay.
I mean, if you use the Bull Bitcoin wallet, you will like use Liquid without even knowing about it. Basically, if you receive,
okay.
so basically, it's like the way it's built is like you're gonna receive like Liquid, you're gonna send Lightning, but you will own your Bitcoin in Liquid. So basically, it's like the perfect trade-off if you don't want to manage your Lightning channel, but you don't want like a non-custodial Lightning like wallet of Satoshi. You know, it's like a good in between. To be more sovereign without having the hurdle of managing channels and stuff like that.
Because Liquid is, I saw a brief presentation with BTC Session and Samson Mao in Madeira last year. And I think, so you will correct me if I'm wrong, I think Liquid is like a federation or something, or it's like 10 entities that manage the Liquid channels.
Yes, and basically it's like private, and it doesn't work with invoices. It's more like address based.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not like personally like a big like Liquid fan in the sense that it's always like a compromise if you're getting out of on chain. But like I think it's good for anonymizing your transactions. So if you want to stay under the radar and you don't want to go through CoinJoin, I think like Liquid, same as Monero, you know, it's good to anonymize transactions.
Yeah.
And some people say that Liquid is even better because you're not gonna be flagged, and it's not like
better than Monero?
Yeah, because I mean, some people argue
there
that.
may be
and
comments on that.
I think they have a point because like using XMR, you're gonna be flagged. It's hard to like you know, and Liquid like because not that many people use it, you're gonna be under the radar. And it's not like seen as like a tool for privacy, so you're gonna be a little bit more under the radar with Liquid. But I mean, it's always trade-off. I mean, and it's fast and almost free, also.
Yeah, that's the thing about this thing called Bitcoin. Well, life in general, it's all about trade-offs. Everything is about a trade-offs, and there's no perfect solution. So it's very rare that I get into any kind of like, excuse me, it is
no
dry.
worries.
It's rare that I get into any kind of like beef or anything with people on Twitter because I just usually, you know, say, okay, whatever. But I don't know if you saw, I don't know if he's really the, is it CTO or CIO of Ripple? Did you see what he posted about this guy? Because apparently they went offline or something, and he wrote that they had to go and troubleshoot to figure out what happened. And then he did this big long post where he consulted ChatGPT to look at all of the times it took like an hour or more for a Bitcoin block to come through.
Oh, plenty of time. It happens to me a few times.
And he's posting about this to say, like, the argumentation is sometimes it takes blocks a long time in Bitcoin to come through. Therefore, our problem being offline is okay. And I'm like, dude, you're centralized, you know? Like, there's something called a difficulty adjustment that will adjust so that if the hash rate lowers, you know what I mean? Like, blocks will come in every 10 minutes on average.
And I mean, if you have like a block that lasts like an hour, then you'll have like 2-3 blocks that gonna clear within like a few minutes also. I mean, it's again like these people have a product to sell, and if they want to sell their product, they need to say, because their product is kind of tackling the same use case as Bitcoin, and so they like bank wire transfer. I don't even know what's today like the use case of XMR, but XRP, sorry. But like these people need to sell their shit, so basically they need to say that Bitcoin is useless, so they can sell you their better Bitcoin. But that's what I like about like the crypto market these days. I think like in 2017 and 2021, people like were after like utility use case, like oh, we have like a better Bitcoin, and like all these things, trying to sell like blockchain and like IoT and real estate. And I think like the meme coin, I like meme coin in the sense that it's, to me, it's a push to towards how to say, a more it's more honest in the sense that it's no bullshit. You know,
they're not like, trying to promise you the world.
Yes, you know, it's rational. It's more rational. It's a rational use case for the crypto market. It's like gamble and like scams, and it's obvious, and they don't even hide it, you know. And it's always been like that. But like back then, they were saying like, oh, we are tackling this industry case, or we are tackling Bitcoin use case, but we do it better. And now crypto project, they don't even like try to do that anymore. They understand that Bitcoin is a value proposition for money transfer and store of value. And they say, okay, we are having fun with or like casino on steroid meme coins. And I used to be like a toxic maximalist, because back then they were like tackling Bitcoin use case and saying that they had like a better use case, but now they don't. So now I don't have any problem with like crypto people, you know, the same way I don't have any problem with casino partouche or gambling on sports or all these things, you know. It's just like dirty business, but at least they don't like pretend they are angel or trying to disrupt industries.
So do you think that as someone who speaks a lot about Bitcoin, that you have, I'm going to use this word, do you have a bit of a responsibility towards people who know you to speak up and say this is a scam? Like, just to at least say it so that they're warned? Or do you think that people shouldn't basically listen to any kind of influencer or anything?
You know, I think first of all, people that follow me on X, like the people I'm talking to, I think they kind of know what's my take on that. Is if they've been following me for years, they know. You know, I think it's like a kid. If there is like a stew boiling on the kitchen, the kid, he needs to go and touch it and get burned. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, he won't learn. Like, you can tell him like a dozen times, don't go buy shitcoin because you will not outperform Bitcoin. If you do outperform Bitcoin, you will get greedy, and on your next move, you're going to lose. It's something which is like human nature. Yeah. Like most people, they need to get wrecked and get burned. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, maybe it's a little bit nihilist, but I'm like, the faster they get scammed, the faster they will understand Bitcoin value proposition. Which is a weird way to think about it, but I'm like, if they need to do mistake, they'd rather do the mistake very quick. because you'd rather do this mistake when Bitcoin is at like, I don't know, 50K rather than making this mistake when Bitcoin is like 500K, you know, because then your entry point, you will start your Bitcoin journey very late. But I'm saying we need to avoid that at all cost. But if I'm being realistic, I think like 90% of people, they need to get wrecked. And I'm not gonna, because I've been trying to do that. Like I'm talking by experience again. Like I've been trying to tell people like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They will go anyway. So whatever I say, it's not gonna change the way they act. So I'm just living my life, and if they are ready to understand what Bitcoin is, I will be happy to give them, to share my experience. But I'm not gonna try my best to try to prevent that, because by experience I know that it's not working that much. And I respect people that try to prevent that and that like call out scams, but I've been there, I've done that, and now I like just don't.
Now you're like, no. Yeah. I still can't help but to say something.
Fair enough.
Because I'm
you have a good heart, Saida.
I'm a mom too, you know, like if my child is out there and someone tries to lure them in, like I pray that someone will come and just say, nope, you don't need to do that. So yeah.
Maybe I'm too black pill on that, and I need to go through a little bit more of your kindness and like trying to educate people, but it's boring at some point.
It's better to do memes.
Yeah. And to dunk on them when they're poor, and like to help them like understand Bitcoin when they're ready for it.
Yeah, but when you dunk on someone, they're never ready for it. Because then, I mean, if they were ready, the dunk wouldn't be as, you know.
Yeah, true.
As potent.
Yeah, sometimes I think maxis are a little bit bullying, but it's a good game with like crypto people, because I remember like, for example, in 2021 you had like guys like Mark Zeller or all these Ethereum people. They would go and see, the flippening is programmed and all these good words, and they were dunking on us as fuck, you know. And you know, like fast forward like 3-4 years later, you know that Ethereum now like is going to shit. Everyone know the use case is weak, because like there is Solana, which is faster and cheaper and still centralized as much almost as Ethereum. So for us, it's like, okay, they've been like dunking on us like for like 2 years in 2021, 2022. Now it's your time to like dunk on them. You know, it's like more of like a bro type of relationship. You know?
That it's not an even fight, but it is, you know what I mean? Like these people aren't victims. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I stopped following any development in Ethereum a long time ago, but I did see that on X, something about the foundation, someone else is going to create a new foundation. And I thought, wow, that's messy.
The narrative is so messy because like for 2 years they were like, Ethereum is hyper sound money because like the supply is actually better than Bitcoin because the supply is, after the merge, is decreasing. Now the supply is increasing again, and they say we may increase again because they have the Ethereum Foundation have the ability to tweak up like the supply and the politic of like releasing coins, and like. It's funny because they say, Ethereum can do lots of things that like Bitcoin can't, and which is like fair for some like technical stuff like smart contracts. But then they say, Ethereum's gonna like scale through layer 2. So you're like, okay, if like Ethereum is scaling through layer 2s, why won't you use Bitcoin layer 2 instead, you know? I don't know, I find the narrative is like super weak, and I've never find myself very interested about that. And what got me interested about like Bitcoin and what made me stick during bear markets and things was like more like the political vision of being sovereign, being independent, no one can, and tackling like a bigger issue like central bankings and all these things. That's what got me going during like bear markets.
Yeah, no one can mess with my money. If you haven't, there's a debate between Jameson Lopp and Jimmy Song on Bitcoin ossification. Jameson Lopp is arguing, I guess, from a more technologist standpoint, where he talks about why Bitcoin should not ossify. So just basically adapting to changes in the external environment, whatever. And Jimmy Song argues for ossification. I find that they were quite similar, finally in what they're presenting, but it's actually a very, very good debate to watch. And so one thing Jimmy Song said that I found very fascinating and appropriate is the fact that he said, during the block size wars in 2017 and before, it was easier to reach a consensus because there were less people involved in the space. And today it would be very difficult to reach consensus. Yeah. Almost impossible. And so because I have no foresight as to what could go wrong in the future, I find the fact that it is difficult to reach consensus kind of reassuring, because then no one's going to mess with my money. You know what I mean? Like, I know what to expect, more or less.
The problem is that, these people, they create... I don't think there is, an ossification problem, right now. The mempool is empty. The thing is, very few people actually transact on Bitcoin on chain. And, right now, a transaction will cost you 10, 20, 30 cents, something like that.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 sats per VByte I saw earlier today.
And it's gonna clear within 40 minutes, half an hour. So, it depends what you are after. Some people come up with exotic use case for Bitcoin. Me, my use case is to have a store of value that isn't seizable by governments. And I don't care if a transaction cost me 100 euros, because as long as my currency is safe. And again, it's my personal use, to me, I just want to have to be a pirate, and have a boat, and there is an island where there is all my gold, and I can access it a few times a year, and it's super safe, and it's impossible to go. And that's what I'm after for Bitcoin, I know some people will say bad, but I don't really care much about the paying small things use case, paying a McDonald's or a Coca-Cola. Yeah. If they accept Lightning and I can pay with Lightning, it's fine. But I'm a cash maximalist for spending. So I would highly recommend any person that's about Bitcoin to reach out to local Bitcoiners through meetups. There is a Bitcoin map. They can see meetups, and to exchange value or against Bitcoin, or to exchange cash for Bitcoin. So we can have a parallel economy where you can swap Bitcoin on chain for cash, leave with cash, and all the other way around. I think it's really, really important, developing side hustle. My friend at the Bunker Science is selling sauce, very nice spicy sauce.
Pepper
By the way,
sauce.
you should have him on the pod one of these days.
Well, I will invite him, and we've challenged each other to a pepper sauce eating contest, because he had oh my goodness, Peter Saintonge? No, is that
David Saintonge?
David Saintonge on his show, and I was like, how is this man giving him dry bread to eat with pepper sauce? Dry bread? And so I commented, I'm like, what's with the bread? And, he replied. And so I said, so my background is Trinidad and Tobago. That's where my parents are from.
So
and my whole family.
You're comfy with spices, I guess.
Oh my God. My mom, so my mouth is going to start watering talking about this. But my mom would have a jar where she'd put vegetables and whatever, and Scotch bonnet peppers and other types of peppers, and she'd just let it pickle, and we would eat that. Or you're not going to know what I'm talking about.
No. But I know. Us in French, we don't handle spice very well.
It can improve. My husband is French. He's from Rouen, and he's been to Trinidad. And he's obviously been home with my parents at Christmas. And my mom has cooked, and she gives us pepper sauce to bring home in a jar. And so he's gotten used to it. Like, he likes pepper now, and he'll buy
Okay.
Scotch bonnet pepper and try to cook with it. So all this to say, Séance Géniale will be here, and
Nice.
we'll meet
And
in
you
person
know
to
what?
eat.
If by any chance you want to come to the Bitcoin Economic Forum, which is to me like the best conference in France, it's more like a niche, very purist, maximalist people. It's in Normandy. It's like in May, and over
Okay.
there we are all about like P2P economy. And there is my good friend Wicoder that is making fried chicken, but
Oh, okay.
I don't usually eat fried chicken because it's always cooked in like seed
Yeah.
oils and like the type of oil that you put in your car to make it go fast. But he does it with like beef tallow.
Oh, I love beef tallow.
So basically, if you go there, you will have like proper fried chicken, and Science will be there with all his sauce though. So that would be like the perfect setup to do the show.
Where in Normandy will it be?
Uh, I'm not good at geography. It's somewhere in the countryside.
Okay.
It's not too far from Le Mans, I guess. Somewhere.
Okay.
I've been there 2 years in a row, but every time it was with friends. So I know it's in between Normandy and like Brittany, somewhere around like yeah.
Le Mont Saint-Michel, between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say some. They're gonna make fun of me. I don't know exactly where it is.
Are you from Paris?
No, I'm from Poitiers. But I spent
okay.
like 7 years in Paris. So
Oh,
I know
okay.
Paris quite well. Yeah.
So, because usually it's very Parisian to be like Provence, like over there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll write it down. I'll add it to my calendar and check with my husband because he would have to babysit. Or maybe they could come. Is it kid friendly or no?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I think
On the
there
weekends?
was like I think there was like a few kids last year. Yeah, you
Okay.
can reach out to the people on. I can give them
Yeah.
contacts, and I'm sure they are.
Yeah, Gilles. And for BEF is the, for people who may be wondering, so you've got the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and the BEF is the Bitcoin Economic Forum.
Indeed.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, okay. So I've written that down, and I'll see Séance Géniale, and we'll eat our pepper sauce together in
Let's go.
person.
Let's go. Let's go.
So where else can we see Bull Bitcoin? Like, do you guys have any other conferences or anything planned?
Yes, there is plenty. So we will be at BEF. Francis, the founder of Bull Bitcoin, will be at BEF. The whole team will be there at the BEF in May. We will be at Paradigm Bitcoin in Switzerland.
Oh,
also.
yeah.
And there is a lot. Maybe we will go to a conference in Ireland. There is lots of like conference in the Rooster. Nothing like pretty settled. Budapest, I think we will
Nice.
go there. And yeah, lots of conference, even like meetups. I mean, Theo has been to like Lyon meetup, Marseille meetup. Gilles is like more embrace Bitcoin, so we try to like get in touch with people, get feedback from the ground, and immerse yourself into the pleb culture, right?
I still say, I think that to be a fly on the wall at one of your team dinners would be just just a hidden camera where we could spy on you. It would be an outstanding experience.
Oh yeah, it's fruity. It's fruity.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
there is conversation we can't really have on podcast because it's too spicy. So yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended. So Gégé, remind everyone where they can find you and where they can find Bull Bitcoin.
They can find Bull Bitcoin at bullbitcoin.com. They can find on X Bull Bitcoin /_ or Bull Bitcoin FR for French stuff. We're on Nostr also. We're on Instagram, everywhere. And me, you can find me on Twitter at GégéLSMR4 because I've got banned like 6 times. So I kept
So you're on
quit.
4. You got banned 6 times. And now you're on 4.
Yeah, but I changed. I had like GégéBTC also, GégéLSMR, GégéLSMR 2, 3. Yeah, it goes on.
So number 4. Well, thank you for being on the podcast, and you will stay on because we'll do 21 questions soon.
Thank you, Saida. Bye bye.
Yeah. Malak Quates. Malak who? Yeah. Takes her Bitcoin off exchanges under self-custody. She runs her own node, providing liquidity. Yeah, she got her own keys. She got her own keys. She got her own keys. Yeah, she got her own keys. 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 Yeah, she got her own keys.